Hi, everyone, and welcome to this exciting session where we'll be talking about reimagining service assurance for the 5G era. My name is Chikhalikar, and I'm the head of Telecom, Media, and Technology for ServiceNow for Asia Pacific and Japan. I've been with ServiceNow for 5 years, and prior to joining ServiceNow, I used to be a customer. So I used to run IT for a large telco in Australia called Optus for about between 5 and 10 years. I was there, and I bring in sort of some of those perspectives into this session, as well as in my current role, I spend probably half my time talking to a myriad of customers in the region. So I'll be sharing some of the feedback we hear from them, as well as our partner community. I'm also privileged to have Santosh Akkula on the line on the session with us, who is a CIO at Airtel. So I'll hand over to Santosh to do quick introductions.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Apps. My name is Santosh Akkula. I head the cloud engineering and ops for Airtel. So I've been here with Airtel for the last 3 years. Prior to Airtel, I worked with multinational organizations like Oracle, Thomson Reuters. So being in the technology industry for the last 22 years, that is what I have been doing. And thank you, Apps, for that.
Thanks, Santosh. So as we are going to keep this fairly informal, I'll be walking through my perspectives and asking Santosh some questions along these lines. Let me just start off by saying that, transformation in telecom is probably at its peak right now. Right? Not only is there the pressure of improving margins by automating processes and reducing operational costs. At the same time, the experience that customers of telecom operators are expecting and their expectations have gone through the roof. And then this is again coupled with the introduction of new technology in the ecosystem. So you've got 5G, you've got fiber, you've got the various products and services that sit on top of connectivity, as well as the partnership ecosystem going a little bit gangbusters at the moment. It's all, I would say, a perfect storm. And also there's a interesting change in the mix of products and services that are brought about in terms of demand by segment, as well as connectivity as a result of COVID. Which makes it a really challenging but interesting industry to be in at the same time. What my customers tell me is that when they're actually imagining what service assurance looks like in the 5G era, they have to build automation into the process as they're deploying and building out new processes into the ecosystem. They want to make sure that the assurance goes all the way from network through to the customer. So that any requests that are coming through, resiliency, the quality of services, the product mix, etc., needs to be delivered in an agile fashion and an agile manner as customers are expecting it. And of course, it needs to be a closed loop cycle. And this is made even more complex because there are a ton of heterogeneous legacy networks that are in the environment that these new technologies need to sit on top of. There's some of the drivers that we're seeing for transformation across Asia Pacific and Japan. But Santosh, let me turn over to you. Does some of that make sense? Does that resonate with you? What are some of the drivers that are pushing Airtel to transform?
Oh, absolutely, Apps. You bang on. For us, the philosophy has been one key driver, right? Experience. We are very focused on the experience of the customer. It could be the customer on a digital footprint, or he's walking into an offline footprint to do either a transaction. Is he trying to do some kind of a service enablement that needs to happen? Digital is the way forward for us, and creating a commendable experience for the customer in both forms is the key for our business. So we are no different than any other technology service provider. Our cycles are much shorter. We need to be always available. We cannot afford to have systems going down frequently. We cannot have manual processing impacting our work. So digitization coupled with front end as experience of that service is the key thing to our business. And that's where we are focusing at.
Perfect. I mean, it seems like quite a lofty challenge when you put it that way, right? So maybe you can tell the audience that's watching this show, watching this session, what are some of the key outcomes your team has actually achieved? So what was the transformation that your team has, embarked upon leveraging a platform like ServiceNow, and, where are they today? And some of the experiences that they've had along the way.
So, that's very relevant question. Let me give you a holistic view of what we have done with ServiceNow as one of our key partners in the journey, right? As I mentioned a little while ago, experience is the key. Now, experience has many facets, right? Reliability, resiliency, right? Today's customer does not even worry that if I go back and say, hey, my app is available, but you're not able to recharge, or you're not able to do a transaction over the network. So experience is the key for them. So in order for us to enable, right, we have been looking at what changes we need to keep as experience as our key performance indicator. And we have been trying to fix the processes in the backend. Right? If the services needs to be aligned, right? Automation came as a key feature for our business. We did a transformation journey 4 years back where we said AIOps is a way forward for our strategy. What does AIOps mean for us? ServiceNow is at this center of AIOps for us. We look at every single incident that is happening. We either look at, can we predictively find out what is happening, predict the outage and fix it before it impacts the customer, or what changes do we need in our digital infrastructure so that these things don't happen? You'll be amazed to see, and you are a party to the whole journey of Airtel. We were about 150, 160 outages 4 years back. Today, we are at 6 outages. The time it takes to resolve an incident from hours, it has moved to minutes, right? Automation journey has helped us. We use extensively the ITOM of yours to help us get to that decision-making points, right? If you look at today, 74% of our events in the data center space are completely automated, right? ServiceNow plays a significant role for it. And with 98% less outages, it means our experience for customers is phenomenally good. Do we are where we want to be? The answer is no. We are working with ServiceNow to make things better for our customers every day.
They sound like amazing statistics. I think they would, a lot of the audience would probably be quite envious of some of those outcomes that you've talked about. And when I know Airtel has spoken at previous events about their journey with ServiceNow as well. I guess when you look at those kind of outcomes and you say you're still looking to achieve more, what's next? I mean, where are you looking at in terms of the ability to drive improved experiences, more automation?
See, if you look at, let me give you some more metrics, which is contextual, right? Today, 72% of infra is self-healing, right? We want to take it to 95+% of self-healing. 79% of our customer issues are auto-resolved, right? With the help of bots. 50% of our customer orders, when issues happen, they are auto-resolved. Can we all take it to the next level and say how closely we can get to 100%? That's the whole journey we are embarking upon. So automation, DevOps, SRE, all coupled together, we want to take this to the next level, right? As I mentioned, ITOM has been the center of our intelligence, right? What we are doing with automation today. We are not looking infra as an isolation, apps as an isolation, or connectivity into isolation. We are bringing all of these key metrics into single data lake and doing a scrubbing of those and finding out where the impact is being suspected. Instead of looking like a needle in a haystack, now we have gone and said, how can we pinpoint the problem area and fix those areas, right? And the journey which has gone, and now we can, with 99% certainty, we can say that here is 200 events that are going at this moment for a specific outage. This could be the potential. We come down to 4 and our decision is very simple. So the journey from hours of mean time to resolution to minutes is a function of that. We want to get to a point where we don't have incidents. 2 things: build resilient architectures in the background, and if it fails, how proactively can fix so that our customer, when he walks into a digital platform or an offline platform, he doesn't see any incident. he has a seamless experience for that.
That sounds incredible. It almost we actually did some collaboration with TM Forum recently where we said, what does the service architecture for the future look like? And we come to a realization that there are going to be multiple heterogeneous networks that telecom operators have invested over tens of years that will exist. But the best way to kind of improve and the fastest way to improve the quality of service to your customer is by adding that service aware CMDB layer on top, so that you can connect your network all the way through to your infra, through to your applications, through to your customer facing services, and get that real-time impact view as well as the root cause view, because things are going to go wrong no matter how well you prepare for it. There are going to be incidents, but the way you react to it, the way you can actually proactively notify your customers and deliver that consistent, reliable experience is key. It sounds like Airtel has come a majority way of the journey, where a lot of customers we're talking to are still starting that journey. And I think what makes it really exciting for us is, as new product portfolios start getting introduced with 5G coming into play, you've built that core foundation that you need to, launch new products, accelerate new services, and, leverage that foundation fully to drive that competitive advantage in the marketplace. So would you have any sort of final words of wisdom for the audience around, along that journey, what were some of your successes and some things that, potentially that people should watch out for, and, any advice for them?
There are few things which are very important when you embark on this journey, right? The first thing is start measuring experience rather than individual component level SLAs, right? 10 years back when I was working, if I would have told my boss, hey, 99% of availability on the system, people used to stand up and clap. Today, it does not make any relevance. App guy saying, hey, my systems are available, the database is up, but end of the day, customer is not getting the experience, right? Customer is troubled. One journey we categorically looked at is that this isolation of infrastructure, app, database, web tiers will not make any sense. It is the complete service path which needs to be monitored and measured effectively for a delivery. Right? Once you have a KPI of experience, then you go back and look into single component and saying, hey, do I need to build agility? Do I need to build a flexible, scalable system, or do I need to build multiple infra redundancies? Right? One of the biggest challenge for us is to finding out what is that experience metric. Once you start measuring that, everything becomes easy for you to say, these are the 4 reasons why it is failing. For us, it was very clear. Apps, if you remember, we said, we have challenges about systems not being available. We said, hey, what do we do to invest on tech? What do we invest on scaling? How do we do our application more resilient? How do we clean up our service path? So these are some major decisions we had to make, right? The other thing is, we made our processes human dependent. When before ServiceNow came in, we embarked the journey. We had about 150 people sitting in our NOC and doing eyes on glass monitoring. Today, that team does not exist because every process is automated. Whenever a human decision comes into picture, there is latency of decision and decisive decisions don't happen. Focus on data-based decisions, look at the data, make it very objective, and make a decision on it. I think these are few parameters. If everyone looks at those and makes the decisions, the experience is going to be phenomenal, and convincing everyone is easy that building resilient architectures are going to be more important. So these are my 2 words for people who are looking at it.
Well, Santosh, thank you so much. That I'm sure it's got a lot of people that are watching this session thinking about how they plan their assurance and automation journeys ahead. A couple of things for me to add from a ServiceNow perspective would be, we are well and truly aligned with Airtel, and your leadership clearly shines through in terms of the transformation that you've driven for Airtel, leveraging ServiceNow as a platform. As a company, we are investing very heavily in industry vertical solutions. So we have launched some telecom products, and there's more coming. We're lucky to have Airtel as one of our partners that are part of our product advisory council, and the future is looking bright. And as we collaborate and work well together, let's make magic happen even more. So looking forward to supporting you in your transformation journey ahead, and really appreciate the time you've spent with us and enlightening the team today. And I've taken note of some of the statistics you mentioned. It truly is an amazing transformation that you've achieved so far, and happy to be on the journey with you, Santosh.
Thank you, App. Thanks for having me over.
Thanks very much.